we're back. This is Elliot Serrano and Jose Melendez coming to you from Dreamline Comics in Schaumburg, Illinois. Thank you for joining us here on CCW TV, the Comic Culture Warrior video channel. We are now at the part we call Last Rants, and Last Rants is when Jose and I discuss something that we might have talked about in the past, an issue that came up, or something completely new.
And if you're wondering, you know, why, the last couple of reviews, last segments that we did, yeah, they weren't up to snuff, I think, but
I thought they were pretty good.
They're alright, but it's pretty shitty comic week. I mean, we reviewed 2 Marvel books, I mean, and that was like, just because people would want to talk about that. Man, I'm trying to think of a DC book. I bought Birds of Prey #2 this week. Oh man, I think I'm almost done with that book. But then I was like, well, we can have him talk about Brightest Day in a while. And then I'm like, well, I haven't read it. And I'm like, but did I read it? And then it turns out that I did read it, and I completely forgot that I read it because it was so damn boring. Because I was flipping through it before we started taping. I'm like, oh, I wish I would have read this. I'm like, oh, I did read this. I read it back on Wednesday, Tuesday or Wednesday. And god damn, is that kind of boring, you know? I can't even, it didn't even leave any impression on me whatsoever. It's like at the 5th issue already. Or 4th issue, so, well, 5th, counting the 0 issue. It's like, man, it's just kind of a crap week for comics, but... You know, Alice #2 came out, but we talked about that and we already hyped that enough. So yeah. You can just take our review of Alice #1 and you can, you know, just pretend that all the #1s were replaced with #2, and it's the same exact thing. That's how awesome that book is. And the new Jeff Parker Thunderbolts comes out next week, so maybe we'll talk about that, because I want to find out what happened with that cliffhanger with Barry Zemo.
And if you go to the CCW TV blog, one of the featured covers was the cover to Atlas #2.
Yeah.
Great Carlos Pacheco cover. I love the interpretation he did of Venus on that. You know,
well, it's the story.
The 50s.
Yeah, it's in the 50s. Yeah,
which is an awesome cover.
So it's one of those covers that actually has to do with the story on the inside. It wasn't just it was a cool cover.
Right. So again, so we don't want to give you this impression that all the comics were crap and we hated everything. You know? Almost
all of them were crap.
Last week we had some stuff that we really enjoyed, and that, you know, so let's not put a damper on that. Also, on the CCW TV blog, we also have an open thread where we talk about Doctor Who, which is right now my favorite, if not my favorite television show. Right now, my favorite, at least science fiction show.
Yeah. Right
now, easily supplanting a lot of my past favorites. So
Lost.
Yeah, way better than Lost. Way friggin' better than Lost. The show is so way better, and the writing has been superb. But again, when you only have 13 episodes, you got to bring your best every episode. And by the time this airs, we should be seeing the season finale of the 11th Doctor. So if you want to come to the blog and talk about that, we're welcome to talk about that. And I saw Toy Story 3.
You didn't go see Jonah Hex?
No, I did not go see Jonah Hex. When I saw that Jimmy Palmiotti and Justin Gray didn't do the screenplay for it, I really had no interest in seeing Jonah Hex. So I don't understand why the team that makes Jonah Hex really good as a comic couldn't be given an opportunity to do the same thing in the movie. And from what I've read, it's gotten
it's just panned.
It's getting panned left and right. It's just, I mean,
that movie is going to lose a lot.
It's going to lose a lot of money, but there's been a lot of stuff going on with the movie. I know that the director was he left the project or got fired from the project at some point, and then there was all this stuff went on in the editing room. So chances are
a ton of reshoots.
So maybe chances will be
and
that
it clocks in at a whopping 81 minutes.
Yeah. So they might have to do something, maybe like a director's cut, who knows. But Toy Story 3, if you go to this movie and you don't get all choked up by it, you have no heart, you have no soul. And it's a movie that fanboy, geek, toy collectors are just it's gonna punch you right here. Right here. I'm telling you, I was ready. I was gonna cry, babble like a little baby.
Is that one in 3D too?
Yeah, it was in 3D. But you don't need to see it in 3D. Trust me, you do not.
Did you see it in 3D?
I saw it in 3D because it was the next show. It was good. It was okay, but it was mostly unnecessary. There are like 2 scenes that you're like, wow, this is great 3D, and then the rest was like, I didn't need it to be in 3D. So you don't need to spend the extra money to see it in 3D. It's totally not necessary. But it is a really good movie. It's a really, really good movie. And but which brings me to the topic that now Jonah Hex. If you go to Rotten Tomatoes, Jonah Hex, he's got like a 20% something.
Is that high?
No, my brain might even be lower than that. I mean, it's like really bombing big time. Whereas Toy Story, for the weekend when it opened, had a 100% freshness rating, which is unheard of for a new film on Rotten Tomatoes. Unheard of. 100% freshness rating. Until 2 web critics of note.
Roger Ebert.
No, it wasn't even Ebert. 2 other guys.
I think Ebert only gave it 3 stars out of 4.
Yeah, but he did not give it he did not pan it.
Oh.
He said it was really good too.
Oh.
But there were 2 critics who just totally panned Toy Story. They're as of what I last checked. I'm sorry?
Harry Knowles?
No, not Harry Knowles.
Oh.
I don't even want to say.
Sorry, I'm just gonna let you finish.
I don't even want to say who they are because this is the reason why. It's obvious this is the reason why they did it. Because we get accused of being haters for a long time.
Haters gonna hate.
Haters gonna hate, right? Haters gonna hate.
Yep.
Haters gonna hate. You know? And we get accused of being haters for the sake
of hating.
Of hating. Because, you know, we go after the top guys, we go after the most successful guys because that's what we want to do. Because we want to make a name for ourselves being haters against someone like Brian Bendis or Jeff Johns. Yeah. That's why we do what we do. We get accused of that. Okay? And I kind of can see where that attitude might come from until you actually watch the videos and we will actually sit down and we will explain the issues that we have with what might happen in a Brian Bendis book or what might happen in a Jeff Johns book. Or if we really like something, we'll actually explain why we think Jeff Parker did a really good job with this book. Why did we think Jonathan Hickman did a great job? Why did Jason Aaron do whatever? We're not just going to sit there and go, it sucks. And one of the rules about CCW is that if you have an opinion, you got to be ready to back it up and ready to explain why you thought what you thought. You can't just say, well, because it sucks. Okay? These guys who panned Toy Story 3, they essentially did that. They said it sucked. And they really didn't have they couldn't really explain why. And the reason they did it is because you find out that these are the only 2 guys who pan Toy Story 3. What happens to their website? What happens to their blogs?
Hit cuts go up.
Lots of traction.
I wish I would have thought of that.
Lots of traffic. So you see that is when it's hating for the sake of hating. And I can see where while some folks might think that about us, but you know, you don't have huge hit counts because we hate.
Yeah, but I don't even understand where that comes from like people saying that we hate for the sake of hating, because if we're going to sit here for 15 minutes telling you, breaking it down why we think it sucks, you can't say that.
Right.
No one's going to spend 15 minutes just to hate for the sake of hating.
Right.
That's just not how things work.
No, I mean, because if we did sit there here for 15 minutes and just bitch about...
If anything, you are the haters, hating on us for no reason. That's the truth.
Don't give in to the hate, Luke. Don't give in to the hate.
Yeah.
So you see, the internet is, as I say, the internet is full of opinions and assholes, and
and the rest of it's full of porn.
It is. So you see, opinions are what they are, and we want to back our opinions up, so you tell us what your opinions are.
You can actually really tell now that this is a really slow comic week.
This is going to be a slow comic week.
You're not talking.
We're pulling a Bendis. We're spinning our wheels. We didn't bring anything to eat though.
No, what we should have done. No, you know what we should have done is we should have typed out text and put that up as a video.
So people can read it.
So people can read it. That would be pulling a Bendis. That's what we should do, just to save time next time. Yeah, next week we're gonna like not film 3 videos. We're just gonna type everything out.
You know, it's interesting now. It just hit me right now. I'm curious as to the page rate that Bendis gets for writing that. Because when you don't have to pay an artist or an inker, I'm wondering what he gets for. Okay, so
straight up text.
For straight up text. So if you're a comic book writer, and I know I probably don't ever go into the technical parts of being a comic book writer, like a lot of you guys have asked me to.
Hey, you don't.
I know, but I mean, like if I submit a script, when I submit my invoice, I get a page rate, meaning I get paid so much per page that I submit. Now,
so it's a straight up page rate, not even a word like.
No, it's not a per word rate. So,
So you can just have like 10 splash pages in a row and get paid the same amount.
Exactly.
That's a pretty sweet
exactly. Deal. Exactly. That's why you have. That's why kind of like I go, whoa. The page rate that I don't know what the page rate that Bendis got on that Avengers finale was, because he only had to write these little captions, and I'm wondering how much those artists got for reprinting.
I'm sure they didn't reprint it. Marvel owns the rights. They bought that work. They already paid for it. That's why Marvel uses interior page art as covers for second and third printing.
I'm wondering though, there have to be residuals to that, because you do get residuals for when it's collected in a trade. So I don't know. I can't claim to know. But the page rate for a book, regardless of the word count or whatever, is the same. And like if I decided to submit an issue of, let's say, Army of Darkness, where it was 22 splash pages, a good editor is going to call me on it, and he'll say, look, this isn't, you've got to give people more than this, or you're not really doing this right.
We all know that Marvel doesn't have good editors, so that's why things happen the way they do.
So I'm just curious as to how much Bendis got paid for each page. And maybe I'm thinking maybe for that he got the per word rate, which is what happens in prose. When you write a novel, like just a prose novel, you get paid per word. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering if they did that for him there. Unless he got a page rate, which in some cases you come out ahead that way.
Well, speaking of hack writers, a couple, or the new solicitations are out, right? And Hulk number 25. Have you heard about Hulk number 25 yet? All right, yeah. we got to talk about this because this is kind of a big deal.
People have been asking about us yet.
So Hulk number 25 was released originally as everything was classified: writer, artist, story. Everything was classified. Even the cover was kind of blacked out a little bit. And then it came to fruition, like the news hit the internet, that Jeff Loeb is not writing Hulk number 25. In fact, the rumor is that Marvel, for some reason, was trying to hide the fact that Jeff Loeb was not going to be writing Hulk anymore, and it's our buddy Jeff Parker, which is awesome, And Gabriel Hardman, artist on Asians Atlas, is drawing that issue too.
Okay.
Now, since it's only one issue of solicitation, I don't know what the next issue is going to be. I don't know if this is just a fill-in thing, but this is Jeff Loeb's baby, this Red Hulk thing. They're not gonna. I don't think they were gonna have like Jeff Parker step in for one issue and then bring Jeff Loeb back. Mm-hmm. I think Jeff Loeb is done with that book, and I like to take credit for that. I would like to take credit for this show and our viewers of just constantly mocking that book. And just talking to people how bad they are, and telling your friends how much that book sucks, and what idiots they are for buying it, I'm going to take credit for that. Now, if he comes back with issue 26, then it's going to be like a short-lived victory.
Really?
But at least I'll have this like 5-minute moment where Jeff Loeb is gone from the fucking Hulk, one of the worst comics ever created, one of the worst characters ever created. Oh, to see that.
I knew it was Thunderbolt Ross the whole time. I just knew it. And it was... That was like, as he telegraphed that, just like friggin'...
Yeah, because, Thunderbolt Hulk Ross died in issue number 600, and then he ends up the Red Hulk.
Yeah, it was like, I saw that coming a mile away, but still.
Yeah, but you know what? What happened, when he turns into the Red Hulk, what happens to his mustache?
It turns red, too, so you can't see it.
But he doesn't have a mustache, though.
He bleaches it. No, it's a really good red bleaching job.
No, I've actually had a couple people comment on the blog about that, like, well, what the fuck happened to his mustache? You can't, because the Hulk has hair, and his hair just turns black.
Yeah.
Like, right. Like, if he had a mustache, or if he had a beard, like, look at the Future Imperfect Hulk. He had a huge beard. He had facial hair. Now we're getting into really geeky, nerdy fucking nitpicks right here. But if you have a fucking mustache, and you turn into the Hulk, you're gonna have that mustache.
Yeah.
It's gonna be badass because you're the Hulk. So you have big ass, and it should be really bushy. And I don't know why the Red Hulk doesn't have a mustache. Because I might have actually let the bad writing slide if the Red Hulk had a mustache.
But like it has to be like a porn stash.
Like a pencil. No, it's got to be a big bushy.
Like,
you can really tell that there's just nothing going on this week. We're talking about that Red Hulk should have a fucking mustache. We're just trying to,
Yeah, the thing with Jeff Loeb, and in all honesty, if the reason Jeff Loeb's not writing issue number 25 is because he decided not to write it, and the reason he's going to be off the book is because he just decides he doesn't want to write it anymore.
No, is that what it is? It wasn't that that book has been just tanking?
Well, it could be, but I mean, 2 years, it's 24 issues. 2 years on a monthly, that's pretty good.
That's going to be the spin. They would never come out and say, like, yeah, we needed to get a really good writer, Jeff Parker, because this book has been suffering, and it's just, like, the sales are just going down.
Well, how far did it drop? Did it drop out of the top 10?
Well, no, but the sales numbers, I mean, it's been in the top 25.
Right.
But the sales numbers have been decreasing. Like, the actual units sold have been decreasing quite a bit.
Who was the artist on the last run? Was it still McGinnis? Still McGinnis?
McGinnis is still doing
the reason that it is McGinnis that's a big selling point on the book. That book is so far off my radar right now. Mm-hmm. When someone asks me, "Did you hear about the big reveal?" I'm going, "Really? It took 2 years to reveal who Red Hulk was, and then on top of that, someone who won." And I would say it. I would say to people, "This is who it is. This is who it is." And people would look at me and go, "Oh, no, man, no way. That's stupid."
No, see, it should have been... I think it was supposed to be Glenn Talbot. Everyone guessed it was Glenn Talbot. And then Jeff Loeb was like, "It's not Glenn Talbot.
No.
Look, it's him."
Yeah.
But he died. It was like metal decoy. Yeah. It was my plan all along.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
I thought it was Blonsky.
No, I didn't think it was.
Yeah,
I thought it was...
Blonsky would have been...
I thought it was Glenn Talbot.
That would have been clever. But no, Talbot, you're right. Talbot, was...
Because they even, in that issue 600 where General Ross dies, Glenn Talbot, they talked about him in there and stuff like that. And then, like, the Red She-Hulk is Betsy Ross. 2 people who are supposed to be dead.
Yeah.
God damn, what a train wreck that book turned into. Jeff Parker, don't write that book. Just cancel it.
Well, no, he could... that's a case where I'm sure
he
can save it. He can fix it.
But that's such a terrible character, though. But I think a lot of it has to do with Jeff Loeb writing the character.
Where's Hulk, though? I mean,
he's an incredible Hulk.
You know what I mean?
He's an incredible Hulk.
Yeah, I mean, it shows you
Aren't you reading World War Hulks? It's like one of the huge summer blockbusters.
Is it?
I don't know.
Really?
It's not really sounding that good.
I haven't been reading it. I mean, again, the event-itis of the whole thing just killed my interest in it.